Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Song of the Crimson Nile, Season 2, Episode 12, the finale of Season 2. Y'all, I don't know what to think about this. We're literally gonna die. And I'm so petrified of what will await us in the duat. I feel like Anubis is gonna sniff us out. So, who knows if he's gonna let us go or not. But we will see. Set or Master said that he will help us and make sure that we will make it out of this alive. So let's see if he keeps his word. I feel like he will, but I'm still petrified, like we still have to die. So let's just see what this episode will be like. And sipping 2 drops at the gate and the duat, you'll find your fate. Damn, just like that. Just like that. Episode 12, Moonflowers. Warning, this episode contains scenes of violence and mentions of child abuse and colorism. Oh, great. Y'all, remember, if you're a little sensitive, keep it in mind. Eva froze. Those were the words she had been waiting to hear since she had found out she didn't belong to herself. I mean, it's not technically that he has been controlling her every move, right? He just called her and made her remember when he wanted something from her, I would assume. And when he didn't want her, he made her immediately forget. Because we remember season 1 where we met Seth for the first time. We didn't know who he was. When he showed up the second time, he made us remember. And that's when we knew. So it's not like she didn't belong to herself. That he was controlling her life ever since she has been promised to him. But when he wanted something from her, she had to obey. So I kind of understand what they mean with, yes, she belongs to him, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not that he has had her life under his palm her entire life. If I do this, nothing will stop me from being with Aemon, just like we wanted. But I have feelings for Seth too. Once again, it's time for me to choose that. Oh, god damn it. Oh, goddamn. We know that we have feelings for Sed. Now that's fucked up. But if you ask me, the way that last episode ended when we don't call him Master, because apparently that's a hard-on for him if we call him Master. He not really that charming with us. And in my eyes, it's kind of giving of vibes of a Stockholm Syndrome. Just saying. Making deals with Seth is like fighting with a crocodile. It's clear who'll lose and it's not the predator. But he's right about one thing. I'll agree to almost anything in exchange for him helping Eastman. I'll carry out my plan and what will be, will be. I'm sure you won't ask anything impossible or deadly of me. Oh, could I? Just like that. Because you can. Seth relaxed somewhat, leaned back against the wall and looked up at the sky. I haven't been to the yard for a long time. I think you'll like my other form. Huh? He has another form? Good, so I wasn't the only one who didn't know. He has a different form? He turns into a ghost, goddamn. Your other form? Not human, but divine. Ooh, does he turn into, Ratan? You know what I mean? Like, this deity form? Does it look different? No, almost the same, but it's much more powerful. It's not meant for the mortal world. It simply doesn't belong here. I thought Epep is in my divine form. What do you mean by it doesn't belong? Such power is devastating to this world and to this body. That's why I need my other form, in order not to disrupt the established order of things, not to disturb the balance. He's sharing all these details with me. Maybe he's starting to trust me? Maybe. Maybe he's just allowing his feelings to get the upper hand, and that's why he is talking and talking without realizing that he shouldn't. Perhaps Seth himself was worried about what they were about to do. Had he brought other people to the duat, or was it his first time? How weak was he after being in the moral world for so long? Eva had a lot more questions, but she needed to find Livius to check on him, or help with the potion, at least a little. But Eva wanted to stay. We always want to stay. Goddamn. When you follow him, well, shush me. Nah. It's the Stockholm Syndrome. Follow whom? We completely got lost for words. We completely forgot where we came from and where we wanted to go, y'all. The second we see his fine ass, we completely forgot everything. Eva, I can see how much you care about him. I'll go, but later. I'll stay here for a bit. She slowly sat down between said right. She slowly sat down beside said. He watched her and raised his eyebrows. Well, stay here then. As if you could shoo me away. I pay gems, bitch. Eva brushed him with her thigh, and that was enough to make her nervous. She is so fucking attracted to him. I don't know how I would feel. She was beginning to realize the strength of her attraction for him. Fierce, desperate, everything about Seth had a special power over her. But you see, we're only talking about attraction, as in physical attraction, but does he make us feel vulnerable, as in special emotionally, or just physically, that we feel the need to satisfy our desires with this man's body? You know what I mean? Like right now I can only hear desire out of all of this. It was almost like a game to him, letting her enjoy his company only to disappear once again. First she had felt fear and then passion. Right, passion. Passion is desire. Physical attraction. I used to tremble at the sight of him. My heart stopped at the very nature of his deity. Now I'm trembling for a different reason. Seth threw back his head, closing his eyes. A gentle breeze wafting through the corridors blew a few red locks on his pale, elongated face. Jump him. Sorry. It wasn't until Eva had overcome her fear of Seth that she could finally catch his scent. It was a mixture of some rare plants that she only came across in the Temple of Todd when she lived there. Healers there were taught herbal medicine, and Eastman had let Eva try and touch some plants brought there from distant lands. Bitter almonds, tarred vetiver, musky sandalwood, and a hint of that potent drink made from reeds by the locals. An exotic, vibrant, disarming, heady mixture. Oh, I would have been deceased. Like the god of the desert and chaos himself, Seth turned to Eva and leaned his face close to hers, rousing her from her thoughts. What did I do? What happened? What have I done? His mock scarlet eyes were right in front of her. Is it good? Is what good? He knows. He knows we be stiffing like a dog. What's good? His fine ass. Period. He knows. Goddamn, we're sniffing like a fucking dog, y'all. You literally... Goddamn. Sorry. My son, looks like you can't get enough of it. We were sniffing like a dog, people. No wonder they call us bitch. You've tried to smell it so many times. Yo! I was kidding. I was so fucking kidding. Not us actually sitting there and sniffing the air like a desperate dog, waiting to be famished, waiting to be fed. Do you know why it didn't work out before? Why? Seth grunted with satisfaction, and Eva realized that she didn't even deny how much she wanted to smell his scent. It's on the table. You fucking made out. It's done. It all depends on our connection. The stronger my influence over you, the more you can feel my true essence. The scent and warmth of this body. You stopped being afraid of me and began to understand me better. He pulled back a little to give her an appraising look. The corner of his mouth lifted in a thoughtful grin, and he said softly, You're such a brave mortal. You keep exploring despite fear. You strive for freedom, but you're drawn to the one who deprives you of it. Again, Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome. But if you ask me, I know that he's like our master, and he is capable to make us do things we don't want to. And there are times when he actually did make us do exactly that, but he also gives us like this feeling of safety. We have never really felt safe. Like, if we remember what our mother actually was capable to allow us to go through, just in order for her to be rid of us, he was the one that saved us. And back then, our mother didn't bargain anything. But he felt the need to protect us. And if you grow up never feeling safe, the person that makes you feel safe is the person you grow emotionally attached to. And yes, he has done some awful shit to us, but he also was the person that when everyone else would have abandoned us and would have left us in our time of need. I'm not singling anyone out, not Aemon, not Livius, not Aemon, but in general, like, Grimau was a second father to us, and he would have killed us the first chance he got. When we were in trouble, Seth was the one that was willing to actually stay there and make sure we were saved. Like when Aemon was ready to actually have our head in the Remaus when we were fulfilling a commission, Seth showed up and he saved us. Like, he also gives us a feeling of being saved. You know? We know that no matter what happens, he will always be there because there is this connection, because technically we belong to him. So he can feel when we're in danger, and he could ignore it, but he chose not to, and he was always there when we needed saving. Seth tilted his head and said more seriously, "I'm impressed. I can enhance the scent even more. I know how much you want it to." Too? So you're attributing your desires to me. He said if I have to have a hard-on so you can get wet too. I mean, justice, so I guess it's on side. Eva tried to divert attention from herself so that Seth wouldn't be so cocky, but he knew everything. Everything. Really? Do not mock me, sir. Do not try me. It's too early. Seth moved even closer to her, looking into her eyes. The tips of their noses touched. Just a little closer and their lips would be next. Don't look at me. He put his finger on her mouth, barely touching the delicate skin. He was provoking her. And that's what I find hot in a man. Again, fighting for power. It seems to me, master, that this is what you want. And you want it much more than I do, I feel. Do I? Yes. I confirm it. What happened on the roof, the way you touched me. You call me just one of your many servants, but aren't you attracted to me in a special way? The fact she has the galls to ask him that. The galls. Like I said, this is not a normal relationship between master and servant. Seth squinted slightly, clicking his tongue. Look at her. Period. Talking back to me. Have you grown bold? How admirable. Eva smiled, still feeling Seth's fingers on her lips. So will you answer the question? Answer my question first, you naughty little shishmu. Y'all, the second that a man calls you naughty, you know the sucks will. I can't even talk anymore. The second a man calls you naughty, you know the sex will be rough. You know. Because a man never willingly answers the words naughty to a woman if they don't think that they can actually handle the roughness. Never ever. Look at him grinning. Bye. You can finally sense my son, can't you? Yes, master. Yes, daddy. I'm changing master to daddy because at this point... Tell me what else has changed about you since you stopped being afraid of me. Eva leaned forward a little so that Seth's fingers moved to her face so that he would caress her, touch her hair. She knew she should have been worried about going to the duat, but the mere thought that Seth would be there for her, that he knew what to do there, brought her comfort. He makes her feel safe and allowed her to think about something else. I've noticed how kind you are to me, Daddy. Sorry. I know you're affectionate and considerate to me. I know you protect me from others. And I like the way you read my desires, allowing me to pursue them without fear. So every single time you touch me, I know that you know exactly where I want you to touch me. Like when? When you let me hug you. When you grab me by my waist and pull me closer, sending all the boundaries to Eastfed. And I can't with the word Eastfed, y'all. When you touch my ear with your lips, when you look at me the way you're looking at me now. She's like, I can see the desire. It's already there. What a nice little shishmu. The fuck? He needs to emphasize this. That's a turn on. He caressed her hair and Eva leaned a little closer, hoping for a kiss, but he put his lips to her ear, just like she had said. His low voice sounded very close. Bye. Bye. No.
I like it when you're so bold. You worry, but you can't resist the temptation. And seeing you pine for me and give in is the sweetest feeling.
What can I do? I'm a simp. I'm a wimp now. Seth gently wrapped his hand around Eva's neck and, in contrast to his initial tenderness, yanked her toward him. She was at his mercy, but that was a soft power. Seth knew all of Eva's weaknesses better than anyone else. He knew what he could do with her and when so as not to frighten her. She parted her lips as soon as she guessed his intentions and pressed him to his. Kissing him was like a drink of cool water after 100 days in the desert. Seth had his eyes half open to Eva's pleasure at being so close to him. He also relished in that feeling, squeezing her waist impatiently, drawing her to him. He grabbed the back of her head with his other hand and ran his fingers through her long, thick hair. Seth allowed himself what had previously been strictly forbidden, losing himself in the terrible thirst he had been feeling next to Eva for a long time. God damn it, we made him break down his defensive. Now it's over. Like, again, this is the hottest thing ever. When someone who is completely detached from his emotions, calm, collected, breaks down, acts in, is not capable to control themselves anymore when it comes to you. That's the hottest thing ever. She had confessed what exactly she liked about her patron, but he hasn't said enough. A lot of things gave him special pleasure. He loved it when she nibbled at his lips. Is she doing it? Again, fighting for power. He loved it when she arched her back and squeezed her thighs together impatiently. He loved it when she looked away in embarrassment, trying to hide her flustered expression and kept stealing glances at him. She was afraid of him, but still found the courage to talk back. The best thing Seth could do was to stop pushing her away and take what he so desperately wanted. He feels so much desire for her, goddamn. He had made it a rule to stay away from humans, and he finally wanted to break it after so many years. Eva dared to run her hand over his broad chest, slightly squeezing his impressive muscles, and then moved her palm higher to caress Seth's shoulders. Oh, how boldly she wanted to touch his pointed ears. She grinned. You'll reach for me first, master. Now who wants this more?
Is it not you? Then tell me to step back if you don't want this.
Nope. Period. I won't. No. You're not getting the satisfaction. You pulled me closer, I won.
I've spoiled you. My little Shashma has changed so much, has become so fearless and shameless, just the way I like it.
Well, Daddy, you taught me well.
It seems that meeting me has had a significant impact on you.
Again, you taught me well. Eva pulled back a little. Path of honesty, it's not about you, Daddy. My fears faded away long ago, but you stir my desires.
When did they fade?
You know what affected me and took away my fears and why I keep going, but you, Daddy, have made me shameless indeed. Seth shook his head and interrupted her.
What has made Eva so bold of not my influence?
It was completely tactless of him, but he forced her to clarify my friend's death and my responsibility toward him. He didn't like her answer.
So what? Is it really such a big deal?
Seth pulled away. He genuinely couldn't understand human feelings, and Eva was deeply offended. His death changed everything for me, you know that.
Oh well, I've seen more dust than you can count. The span of mortal life is a mere moment for a god.
It's not the time that matters, but the feelings. Even a minute of love for a person is enough for their death to break everything inside you.
Do you think the death of one man can move me?
Of course you don't care about him, but one day you will care about someone else and you'll learn what real grief feels like. Oh my god, not that face.
No human can make me feel that way. Death is inevitable for all of them.
That's what he made himself believe. That's why he stays away from humans, and that's why he doesn't want to understand humans better. Because the second that he opens up to human emotion and to grief and everything, that means that he will actually become just as vulnerable as they are when it comes like a loved one and everything. And that would actually make him not the god of chaos and destruction anymore. Because then he wouldn't care who he pastors along the way. Huh? Is that so?
What's your tongue?
I'm sorry, Master. I understand there isn't much that can move you. How else could it be? His words infuriated her, and she almost spoke too bluntly. Maybe Sid didn't care about her feelings after all. I mean, we do have this freak out because we care about Sid. We have feelings for him, and him actually saying, I don't understand human emotions. I don't think any sort of grief will actually hit me deeply as it does you, because people die, they come and go, like it's nothing new. It happens. That would also mean, in her eyes, of course, because she's in a vulnerable position right now. If she would die, it's not like he would care. He wasn't helping her out of compassion, but for his own benefit. Why did she keep forgetting about it? She jumped to her feet, barely containing her anger, and went to find Livius with determined strides. She couldn't believe things ended that way. It had all started off so well. Sad had taken her seriously, kissed her, and yet before they knew it, they were arguing. I'll leave you be, Daddy. I'm probably annoying you and disturbing your peace. Honestly, you go, girl. Oh, period. That's what it means to be left high and dry. Take the notes, my sis. Take the notes. Sad was surprised by his sudden flare of anger. You see? The desire. She stopped him halfway. He was always on the point of climax. There's something going on between you and Sid. Things are getting out of hand. You've made him feel something new, period. Oh, god damn it.
Hold on.
Sid stood up and put his hands on his hips. No, he wouldn't let her go that easily. Oh, god damn it. Oh, the biggest drama when suddenly... What's wrong with him? That's a new expression. You good? Sid jerked sharply, almost desperately to the side, his eyes wide open. Huh? Is he good? Sonny boy, you need some water? They darted around as if he wanted to look at every grain of sand. Master?
I can feel it. He's here somewhere.
Ooh! Ooh! Simon! Isfed who? Your servant? The first thing Eva thought of was Seth telling her he couldn't find Simon because he no longer felt his presence. Who else could possibly get Seth so agitated? Seth nodded. Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not stupid. Like, if he's completely shocked, he's been looking for this bitch so long, he wasn't capable to feel him anymore. That's why he has been capable to escape his grasp so long. What do you mean, Isfed who? Like, are you dumb? We're talking about Simon the entire time. Seth growled.
Sid, it's got to be close.
Uh-oh. Do you want to look for him? Do you have the power to, I don't know, knock him out? Here in the palace? Seth rushed to an opening in the wall to take a predatory glance around the nearby lands. Let this bitch do what he gotta do.
No, but he's close by. For a few moments I felt his presence.
Uh-oh.
Isfed is almost impossible to catch, but he wasn't far.
Eva was struck with horror. I know why he's here. Simon has come for Livius.
Run to the hill and protect him at all costs.
What does this bitch want from Livius? Oh my god. He my brother, he my family, and protect him with my life. What the fuck you want from my brother? What? Do what he says without saying something, girl. Seth darted to Eva, grabbed her shoulder and barked. Barked?
Don't let anyone get to him. If Simon hates Livius so much, we mustn't let him reach the healer.
This reminds me of a scene of the Vampire Diaries, where human Catherine needs to be protected at all costs, and Alina is not amused by the fact that Damon keeps on pulling her away, and he's just like, for some reason, he wants her bad, and if he wants her bad, I want her more. This is literally the exact same thing. He's like, he wants him, he will not get him. I want him more now.
He took the risk even though I'm here. That means he has no choice. Prevent this attack immediately. Eva, take this chance away from him. And I'll find him.
Period. Seth, you do your thing. Seth waved his hand, taking his staff, and rushed like an arrow rode to the desert sands to catch up with his fugitive servant. Eva took off and rushed to Livius. She wouldn't let a dear friend get hurt again. He my brother, he family. You will not touch my man. She rushed through countless corridors, obviously, to everything around, oblivious to everything around her. An anxious thought was buzzing in her head. He's here. He's here. Livius is in danger. Everyone is in danger. He's here. Eva heard a growl and realized that things were bad. It was Orion, and he was tense. He can feel the presence, too. Path of honesty. She went barreling into the room, almost wiping out everything in her path. If he had come for Livius, he was going to regret even thinking about setting foot here. You not touch my man. When she heard the sound of shattering cups, she threw caution to the wind. Livius was being attacked. No! My apologies. Meanwhile, Seth was spurring the horse forward, following his instincts. Something inside was telling him where to go. That thin thread of connection kept appearing and disappearing again like an invisible weave. Over the years, he had felt like that only a few times, in the capital and somewhere along the sandy roads connecting the city. One day, his instinct had led him to Hermopolis, but he hadn't found Samon there either. But Hemstead had never been so close before. That was why Seth had become so agitated, caused a commotion, and dropped everything he was doing. Seth suspected why Samon needed the famous healer's apprentice, but only Anubis and the lands of Dua would help him make sure of it. What was happening only proved that he was right. Samon dared to come there knowing that Seth was around. He must have been desperate. He definitely wasn't in the palace, otherwise it would have felt different. But a servant was somewhere in the area. That made Seth even more convinced that he was right. If things were as he believed them to be, then the necromancer wasn't lying and Livius was Samon's most important target. But why? What the fuck does he want from him? Suddenly he saw another horse and a rider in the distance. Oh, it's him. It's him! For a moment he perked up, trying to gain speed and rush forward, but he quickly realized who it was. Oof, he is so fucking upset!
The hunter.
Eamon is also not very amused. The episode slowed down when he saw Seth thundering toward him.
You decided to come and meet me. Forget what you're doing. The guest we've all been waiting for has arrived.
Yep. Yep. Eamon immediately glanced toward the palace and Seth caught a glint of worry in his eyes. He was thinking about Eva. Of course. Goodbye! Human feelings were so obvious. He quickly reassured Eamon.
The mercenaries stay with the others. She'll help them if something goes wrong. We've got work to do here in the area.
Oh, he's gonna work with Eamon together right now?
What's the matter? Simon is here somewhere.
Ooh, now he realized how serious the situation is. I'm sorry, I'm so fucking intrigued to know what Samon looks like. Meanwhile... Who is it? Livius was holding a clay cup in his hand. It was the second one. He had thrown the first at the person standing opposite. What the fucking hell?
Whoever you are, you better get out of here.
No, Not on my fucking watch. I don't even know what voice to get him.
You're coming with me.
He didn't notice Eva behind him at first. The shattering of the broken cup had covered the sound of her footsteps.
You don't respond when I'm nice. I won't give up so easily. I'll make you. I need you alive, but not necessarily unharmed. So don't resist.
Fuck no. Worry about yourself. Learn to ask nicely. Or no. Or what? Or what? Will you throw him over your shoulder and take him away? Aren't you afraid of getting hurt on the way? There are a lot of people here who really like to kill.
Eva, go run for help.
Oh, fuck no. The second I run, you are knocked out cold. The question mark. It's always the question mark that gets me. The stranger half turned so as not to lose sight of the healer. The instant he saw her, he took a few steps back so that both were in his field of vision. Now? Oh my god, he's a fucking weak-ass pussy.
Oh, the woman you were hiding with.
He pulled something from his belt. Oh, hell no. Now he's coming with the daggers. That's the weak-ass bitches. People that can't deal with their own fucking bullshit, and they pretend to be like all of this.
I'll deal with you just like I dealt with the hunter. Don't you dare. I won't take a step if you touch her.
Eva froze, realizing that she could be killed right there and then. Seth had ordered her to protect Livius at all costs, but what if she had to do it at the cost of her own life? Now, you see, ladies and gentlemen, when someone is worth it, you will feel it. And besides, if you ask me, of course, I don't want to die. No one wants to fucking die. But again, the adrenaline. If necessary, I'm willing to sacrifice my life in order to protect the people that I care about. What life worth living if everyone I love and care about is dead? That's the thing you need to keep in your minds, ladies and gentlemen. If I keep on jumping back in fear and allow other people to sacrifice themselves for me, then I'm not worthy of people sacrificing themselves for me. Because I know, or in general, I'm not gonna be willing to do the exact same thing. Love is a two-way street. Real love, at least. It's a two-way street. I'm willing to sacrifice my life for you, and you're willing to do the exact same thing. There is no place in your head for doubts or anything. The only thing that is thriving you in that precise moment is to make sure that the person you love is safe. I'm not being in the back and being like, oh no, what if I die? I could care less if I get injured. Happens. But I was capable to protect the person I love. The person I love was capable to make it out alive. That's what's on my radar. Not, oh my god, am I gonna die? I mean, of course, I understand. Like, no one wants to die. But again, worth is nothing. Life is worth nothing if I have to spend it alone. Fearing everything, never ever allowing myself to get close to anyone, and allowing others to fight my battles for me or to sacrifice themselves for me. And when the time comes, I'm even willing to throw people into the battlefield too. No, to Eva with fear and doubts. Her dear friend was in danger. Eva would destroy everything in her path to protect him. Go away. If you don't leave, they'll deal with me. Oh my god, no, her eyes being red. Or are we drawing our energy from Seth right now? He always has red eyes. Livius. You can attack me and kill me, but I will take away your eyes, ears, fingers, and everything else that I can reach with my teeth. Ooh, you can try your luck if you're in such a hurry to die. Seth had made it clear that Eva's life was far from precious. If Simon needed Livius so much, if he needed his help or assistance, then Eva had to prevent him from getting what he wanted. Besides, you coming after someone I love, I'm coming after you. That's how things go. You're willing to go to such extreme lengths in order to get what you want, then even more I'm willing to sacrifice myself. You are not winning. I'm not a weak-ass bitch. I mean, when it comes to my man, that's a different story. But I'm not a weak-ass bitch. I'm not willing to actually just go down and allow you to do whatever you want. That's not who I am, and that's not what I want to actually give out. When you know, there will be people that you will believe will be worthy of every sacrifice in the world. And in my eyes, Livius is family. Of course, I could have romanced him, but you do not play with emotions. I said that in many reaction videos as well. And Livius is family. He's been there for us. He has been looking out for us when Aemon was willing to sacrifice us. And even though he could have remained on the campground, he was willing to sacrifice everything and even become a fugitive. Just in order to make sure that we are gonna be capable to be safe. This man deserves all the sacrifice. Try me. The man surged towards Livius and roughly pushed him aside. The hero fell into a pile of sand. He really is willing to take it. Isfet. Having removed the obstacle, the stranger immediately lunged at Eva and grabbed her throat in a vice grip. He raised his dagger over her without hesitation for a moment and aimed it at her stomach. Someone knocked the weapon out of his fingers with a rough kick. Period, Agnia. That's enough. I'll cut you up and hang your guts as decorations.
Nasty woman.
He pushed Eva away from him and pounced on Agnia. Of course, he swung to hit her, but she easily dodged. That's what you know for having a mercenary, y'all. She grabbed his arm and to pull him closer, but he fought back. Livius got next to Eva and tried to pull her away.
You troubled soul. What were you thinking? He could have killed you.
Then I would have died knowing you're safe. I could care less. I wasn't thinking about myself. I was thinking about you. Meanwhile, Agnia was fighting with the stranger. Both of them were so fast and agile that it was a little hard to follow their movements.
Oh, damn you.
Eva was scared that her friend might get injured. Few people could withstand such an onslaught. She's strong. Everything will be alright. We still should do something. It couldn't be Samon. Ursad would have felt it, but the stranger had mentioned murdering the hunter assigned to Livius. So he was working for Samon, and the Sheshmu had sent him to get the healer, perhaps not for the first time. Eva had to find out something for him. But dodging one blow and then the next, Agnia slammed her elbow into the man's nose, hitting his mask and knocked him to the ground.
Why do you need him? This isn't Samon. He has only one order, to find me and take me away.
Agnia gave an irritable hiss as she drew her dagger.
Then he'll die.
Period. But why wait? It's literally the amount of gems. Bye.
Y'all, I need to put this in here, before I continue. I feel like I'm so slow with uploading it all, but I feel like I'm this close to having, I don't want to call it brain damage, but a blackout. Work is getting heavier now that I've entered my second year of apprenticeship. Then a school, we will be about to be hitting the exams months. We have 3 months of preparation, and at the end of those 3 months, we will have the exam. I think it's 6 in one day, and I don't think I'll be capable to survive this. And then also doing this as a beautiful distraction, to make me feel more alive, and I feel like I'm getting extremely tired these last few days. And the last thing I wanted is for it to come to the point where I have to say, okay, YouTube, goodbye. Because I feel like this is a safe space for me, especially with all of you around. So I'm so sorry if it appears that I'm not uploading as fast as I should. And I know the real ones will remain here. But I feel like I'm letting all of you down sort of lately because of my lack of uploading. So really, I'm so sorry. But let's see. Wait. Before we murder him, we want to know what this man is after. Don't kill him right away. What?
Livius, of course he wouldn't understand. He would be thinking, the fuck? He was about to actually stab you, and he wanted to kidnap me, and you don't want him to be dead. Sad will be angry if he finds out that we didn't take the opportunity to ask him about Samon. And what will Eamon say? He will also want to talk to the attacker, in his own way. If we know how he talked to Dia, I don't want to be around when he does. Do you understand? He might know something.
Eamon from Memphis, the Supreme Estates.
He's worldwide known, Eamon. He squirmed harder. He knows. Goddamn, everyone knows him under the point of fear. Now that I think about it, because of all this, I don't want to call it drama, but more discussion in my comment section of the last video, when everyone saw that I don't want to say I fucked up with Eamon and said, but it came to the point where I actually played to that extent where both of these fine-ass men do not want to let me go. And if I continue going down this path, breaking every single heart, it's not gonna be great. But I feel like at this point, none of these men is better. I have to say it the way it is. If I don't, I would be lying, and you all know I prefer honesty. In my eyes, both of them are toxic in their own way. Or fine-ass man Eamon always felt the need to show to us that we owe allegiance to him. And the same goes for Seth. He always needs to make sure that we know that he is our patron. Like, Eamon did the exact same thing. If we imagine season 1, if we go back to season 1, where he actually forced us to come to the capital because he wanted to have us close and because he thought we were shady and whatever. Like, he's not that different from Seth. And yes, of course, there's the difference. While Seth remains this cold stone because he is and remains a deity, Aemon started to grow a little bit softer towards us. But at the end of the day, I feel like both of them remain still a huge ass red flag. Like, they both have like these redeeming qualities, these positive personality traits that make them stick out and that make them attractive in their own way. So, of course, they would be different from one another. But at the end of the day, they're both toxic. They both feel the need to actually show that they have some sort of power over us. And if it's not meant in a sexual way, it's more like in a, I have control over you. I can control what you do, as in circling you in, limiting your free will, and putting their own will over yours. Both Aemon and Seth are doing that to us. So in my eyes, none of them is better technically. So that's why I'm in a struggle. Like, please let me know in the comments how you feel about this. Because I heard that you can choose in season 3, episode 1. But I will see how things go. And who I will choose. I don't know if we can like make something lead to who we will choose in the next season in this episode, but just so you know, in my eyes, they're both fucked up in their own way. Agnia pressed her knee against the man's throat and put a dagger to his chest to make sure he wouldn't try anything.
He won't tell you anything, just like Remao. Kill me before I kill you.
Bitch, you should not poke the bear. They all stupid in the story. The man jerked, but his weapon was somewhere in the corner. He didn't stand a chance. The news that the episode was there made him remember all the rumors about him torturing Sheshmu. Well, is he a Sheshmu or is he just a huntsman? Death was always easier, of course. Why? Did he want to take a knife, like in order to stab himself? By? Is Simon really so terrifying? Are you willing to do anything, even die, just to avoid facing his wrath?
You'll understand why he's so scary when he gets to you.
Oh, now I'm scared. Me.
No one, not even the Pharaoh himself, can stand against him. All your dreams will turn into nightmares.
The fact that we are not supposed to dream actually makes me wonder, though. We're not supposed to dream, so it's not a normal thing to have. You've learned some detail about Samon. That he's a petrifying piece of shit, I've known that. And it terrified me as much as it intrigued me. The Pharaoh, dreams, nightmares. Everything pointed to the fact that he really lived in the capital.
Don't pity him. He's useless.
With one swift motion, she drew the dagger across his throat. Ooh, she killed him without mercy. The man didn't make a sound. A dark pool bloomed around his head. Bye-bye. Agnia slowly got up and pulled the mask off his face. Why do I feel like I know him? I don't know him.
I think I saw him a few times at the market when I pretended to be a trader. I'm not surprised. It seems that Simon has been hiding in Tibet for a long time, and his people too.
Well, if he wanted your ass, of course he would be hiding there, trying to find ways in order to get close to you.
He even sent one of his men here to get you. What is his desperate need?
Me! What do they want from my fine-ass man? We should take the body away and tell Seth about it. Simon must have escaped. If not, Seth will catch him and tear him apart with his own hands. Let Seth do his own thing. Olivia sighed heavily, rubbing his eyes.
I need a drink of water. I don't feel well.
Poor him. Like, he must be exhausted.
I'll deal with the body. You've had enough excitement for now.
We love Ignia. I'll freshen up too and come back. Trying not to look at the body Eva left, she needed a break and some water to recover. Shortly after, she returned to Livius. She found him at work. He was chopping some herbs, preparing dried plants and several vials of something. The attacker's body was indeed nowhere to be found. Only the bloodstain remained. Livius is so calm, but I know him. Anything can be going on inside him, but he won't show it. Hearing her footsteps behind him, he turned around. And I feel so bad that he feels the need to hide it. We are supposed to be extremely close. Does he care that much about us and worries that much more about our feelings rather than his own, that he prefers to suffer in silence than let us in on how he's feeling? Livius needs to be protected. Come on, let's talk at least. Are you busy with the potion?
I'm setting things up. I'll make it later, as soon as the sun comes up, together with Rameses. I can barely see in the dark, and accuracy is very important, as Seth pointed out.
This man is so not having it. Eva sat down next to the healer. She gently caressed his back. How are you? What happened is horrible. What could Simon want from you so badly? You see, I have this crazy thought in my head that maybe Livius knows. Maybe Livius knows. Because there is a reason also why this man is capable to recognize or feel other people's presence in his mind. When we were hired by Tiano to make the attraction that she felt for Livius non-existent, this man felt our presence. Even though it was Tiano's dreams, but his soul kind of recognized us. And when we met in real life, this man was like, have I met you? I recognize you. He knew us, and that's why he immediately was kind of suspicious about us. That's not a normal thing. No human being actually remembers when a Sheshmu enters their mind. So he must have something about him that makes him special.
I don't know, but this is too much. It's good that Agnia was here.
Livius interrupted Eva.
Let's not talk about it. I need to process everything first. Alright?
He tried to force a smile. I feel like he needs to cry, but he refuses because in his eyes he needs to be strong, because if he breaks down then we will too. And he's trying to put up a front. Are you sick, bitch? Is something bothered? You don't look good. I'm worried about you. Is the journey to the duat so frightening?
Your bluntness is admirable and hurtful at the same time.
I'm sorry, honey. I really am. In my eyes. Be honest. I want to give this out to all of you. To all of your pure souls. Just be honest. Of course, honesty hurts. But I'm not forcing you to talk about things like Eamon did a few episodes ago. I'm still pissed about that. Just be honest. I ask you something and it's hurtful to you. It's traumatic for you. You don't want to talk about it. It's too painful. Then just say so. Girl, nothing to do with you. It's nothing personal, but I don't want to talk about it. That's it. But at least let me know. I'm not stupid. I can see things. And in my eyes, it's worse if we're close and I see that you are in pain, that you are struggling, and I ignore what's going on, knowing that you don't want to talk about it. At least I point it out. Son, I see you. I see what you're trying to hide. I'm highlighting it and letting you know that I understood how you're feeling. If you talk to me about it, then that's on you. I'm not forcing you to talk. But just so you know, I'm not stupid. I see you coming. Livius looked up from the mortar, turning to her. His amber eyes looked at her serious and straightforward.
You don't have to talk to me. I'm tired because I don't sleep well. I've already told you. And knowing that someone wants to get me so badly, I'll sleep even worse.
Well, why don't you sleep next to someone that will be capable to protect you? Just to put an example in here, again, I know what he means. He's like, how the fuck am I supposed to get a peace state of mind if I know that every single second someone could be coming after me? And now the incidents where someone is trying to kidnap him and bring him to Samon have become more frequent, the anxiety would be destroying him.
I'm thoughtful because I think I've had dreams about the duat before.
You've had dreams?
Yes, I saw us get lost there and fight with something. At first I was just struck by how strange my dream was, but when I heard about the duat it all made sense. Now do you see why the attacker didn't scare me that much? Something worse is happening to me right now, but this was to be expected after what Ramis said.
Eva raised his eyebrows. How could one expect a kidnapping attempt? Livius, you've been attacked. He wanted to grab you and kill me, yet you are so calm.
Because now's not the time to get upset. We knew that I was being hunted, that this Simon needed me. It's only going to get worse from here. That's why it's so important for us to stay close to Agni and Damon.
Yup.
Livius, pull yourself together, Eva. You're alive and unharmed, so it's alright. Don't dwell on it, or you'll drive yourself insane.
Like you are doing? Maybe he's right. The further we go, the greater the danger. Such things probably happen all the time in the elite Sheshmu circle and the capital in general. There's a secret power struggle going on. Either they attack each other because they are in competition or take each other out quietly. I've just gotten close to all this and I'm already on edge. Livius is right. I should calm down. To be alive is good enough.
It was you. I was most worried about.
Me?
You almost died. A little more and...
Oh, Livius. My cutie pie.
If it wasn't for Agnia.
The main thing is that we're both alive.
Next time just call for help and run away. He won't kill me, but anyone else.
I'm not running anywhere without you, period. You stay your ground, girl. She didn't argue and changed the subject. You saw the duat and said nothing?
Again, it was a bad dream. I didn't understand what it was about, and then when we spoke about the realm of the dead, I began to reflect. Remember, the more I thought about it, the clearer it became to me that this was the place I'd seen in my dream. The duat.
Is someone sending him visions, though? Because in my eyes, no one would know about the duat or what it looks like.
And it's not for nothing that I kept this and have been carrying it around with me.
He pulled his back closer to him and took out a small green object. Huh? Oh my god. That signed... It's ringing a bell. For those that have watched American Dragon. Sorry. Eva saw a scarab-shaped ritual amulet. It was covered in soot, which meant... Did you take it from the Ibu?
Yes, while everyone was busy preparing to leave the outskirts, I went there to examine the remains. There was absolutely nothing left except this. With everything that happened, I forgot to tell you about it. First I was cooking for everyone. Then I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I had a lot on my mind. You know the rest.
Eva hugged her friend tightly. So sorry. Like, their relationship is so wholesome. Honestly, at this point, I would have to pinpoint at the fact that I should have gone with Livius because he is so fucking wholesome. And he also has this bitch attitude that I love. He is just so straightforward and I appreciate that more than anything. Tell me that you have a problem with me, let's fight it out, and then we're good, okay? He has that same attitude. And I didn't want to play him because I felt like that would be too much. So I played too much with Eamon instead. On the other side, I feel like I fucked up too much. But I can't remedy, now it's between Eamon and Seth, and I feel like I've already chosen, and I'm gonna explain to you at the end of the episode who I decided to go with, because I remember something that the people in my comment section said, and I feel like they're right, so I'm gonna explain it at the end.
Thank you. You helped me so much. I know you'd be happy.
Is this going to be any useful for a necromancy ritual? I don't know. Ram will tell us. But such a scarab is kept next to a person's heart, so it's definitely connected to Eastman.
Hope you will personally hand it to him if we make it there.
So you had seen us in the duet before you found out about everything? Livius shrugged his shoulders awkwardly. Oh my god, Livius!
I didn't think about what kind of place it was. To be honest, I didn't even realize right away that it could be us. I couldn't see any faces. Sometimes I dream of strange things. Most of the time it's nonsense, but sometimes it's something meaningful. I remember you, for example. While we were riding here, I was thinking that it's as if we were meant to end up here together. I don't know how to explain it.
Fate. I've also thought about that. Little incidents, signs. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that can't be good.
Someone is leading us here. Someone was on to be dead. Someone wants us to die. All those days they had been feeling the same. You're full of surprises. Now it's even more obvious.
What surprises?
All sorts of things. You remember me in another person's dream, you predict the future, Simon is hunting you for some reason, you didn't forget Seth after your first meeting. Livius, are you hiding something from us?
If there is something, then it's hidden even from me. Bye. Seriously though.
No, I'm sorry, but he is gorgeous. Just to point it out here, like I keep on simping over Seth, over Aemon, over Cain, over Malbonte. Like, I need to show the hotness. I need to show the love.
I don't think anything like that. I have such dreams occasionally. I can't say I'm surprised. I just want to be able to have a good night's sleep.
In recent days, I've come to realize that everything happens for a reason. What if you're somehow connected with dark magic? Livius raised his eyebrows.
I would certainly know about it. I'm as far from it as possible. My calling is to help people, not to...
Me! I was about to say, you do realize you're talking about me, right? I am Sheshmu. Not to do what? Don't Sheshmu help? Back in Hermopolis, I was tasked to look for a man who almost killed a woman out of jealousy. What's wrong with that?
It's nice that you consider me special, but I don't have a cold soul or connection with Seth.
Then why does he emphasize your name every time?
Livius of Paella.
He enjoys hinting at something. I know him. He sighs thoughtfully. Eva's words filled him with doubt. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing that he's special, but in general, when you are special, you are hunted because people want to know why you're special.
The good thing is, if these are signs, that means I'm not going insane with fatigue.
Eva patted him on the shoulder. They were going to get through that somehow. You supported Livius and he's happy about it. You're welcome, my baby. You're welcome. They spent some more time together. Eva helped Livius prepare the ingredients and he told her stories about his life. I love them. They are like, I'm sorry, they're like the only healthy couple. They're the only healthy couple. And they are just friends, y'all. Things always get complicated the second romantic feelings are involved. I'm telling you. Both unburdened their hearts during that simple, light conversation and a touch of silliness before passing the point of no return. They never returned to the subject of the attacker. Livius was under enough stress without adding that as well. Agnia promised to report what happened to the others, and the healer wanted some time to process the events on his own. Eva decided to go to the river to see the blooming moonflower with her own eyes. Goddamn. Seth wasn't there. Instead, Eva saw Agnia polishing her blades.
Hello, again.
She nodded at the blade in her hands.
See, I'm getting ready. How's the healer doing?
He's also making last-minute preparations. They'll brew the potions during the day. He doesn't want to talk about what happened. I'm so glad you were there. Otherwise...
Don't think about it. Livius will probably have to live under constant attacks until we deal with the salmon.
He's too exhausted for that. Mentally. He has spirit, but mentally he done.
Yes, that's why I decided to take care of the body so as not to disturb him. I saw Ramesses picking flowers by the river. It seems that everyone has already come to terms with this journey.
Have you walked through the entire palace?
Yes, I even found a pond on the lower level, a beautiful palace, but I couldn't translate the name. It said, I don't know, it was a hieroglyph that looked like waves. Does that mean water?
Water, lake, or it can also mean gates.
Then it says the lake of day and night. Or the gates.
The gates of day and night. I think it's
the very place that marks the boundary. It has to be.
Are you ready to drink poison? The poison.
Only if I see the second potion with my own 2
She's like, bitch, I'm not drinking poison if I don't know for sure that I'm gonna be capable to come back. That's hilarious.
Apparently, their effect depends on the flower. If that's true, you'd better go to the necromancer and make sure he's picking the right flower.
She's like, I'm not trusting no bitch in this house. There's no way in hell. Honestly, I respect her opinion though. She's like, I'm not drinking poison if the drink is not good. And if it is true, then that means that potency of the flower will actually guarantee my survival or not. So if something goes wrong, there is no way in hell that I'm going down.
We have no reason to trust him completely yet. If our stay in the Dua depends on Ramesses, I don't want him to take advantage of it and take revenge.
Revenge on what? He wouldn't. He's not like that. Babe. I mean, again, I have nothing against Ramesses. He's a cutie pie. And my poor man, he's been through such awful shit. And the author actually made him have a dramatic exit for like almost an entire season. But I said it so many times, trauma changes you. You don't know for sure, but I could actually place my hand into the flames. This man wouldn't actually want to murder us all.
I don't care if he's like that or not. We'd better check everything carefully. And I'll wait here for Eamon.
I hope he makes it in time and arrives by dawn. Leaving the mercenary alone, Eva went to the river. The sound of the water and the reflection of the stars on its surface where they rippled and blurred brought Eva back to her dream about the last moments of Isman's life. Again, the river, white flowers, and the feeling of impending doom. Ramesses was sitting calmly on the grass, sorting through the crimson tormentic flowers in a small wicker basket. I hate this. Like, this must bring up so many negative emotions. Eva told him about what happened, about the attacker in Samon, about Livius who was confused, and about Agnia who had taken care of the body.
Isfed, are you sure he's not coming here?
No, he's too afraid of Sid. He's just sniffing around. He's trying to intimidate the people that aren't petrified of Sid.
What does he want from the healer? And how did the attacker get into the palace?
This is a huge palace. It was easy. I thought maybe we could try to talk to his soul using necromancy and learn more about Samon. Maybe a cause more cooperative than a living person. Ramesses nodded as he put the flowers into the basket.
We could try. It might work. Don't get rid of the body.
Eva followed Ramesses' gaze, which was fixed on the flowers.
I've read about them. This is a plant with rare healing properties.
With rare destructive properties? Isman died for them. God damn, I don't know what to say, but technically, he did die for them. With rare destructive properties? They cause just as many problems as they solve.
Why do you think so?
Isman was picking them on the night of his death. That's when the stranger caught up with him. I add, that's when his killer caught up with him. Have you got enough of them? Not the eyes. Bye.
Yes, there should be enough. I hope everything will go well.
Did Seth tell you what you're going to do?
Yes, there's a small lake beneath the palace, called the Gates of Day and Night, and it serves as a boundary between the worlds.
Agnia was right. Nah. I was right.
You'll have to lie down in the water among these flowers at sunset.
Okay. Now it kind of makes sense why the story is called Song of the Crimson Nile. This will be the last time you will be capable to use your voice. You did.
I'll make a bowl of poison where I'll add a crimson turmeric and I'll pour it in your mouth.
Moving on.
And I'll reset the spell Seth tells me.
Bye. So that means if Seth tells us a wrong, Seth will have to tell him what to say. Now imagine if Ramesses pronounces the word wrong. We did, y'all. It's been nice knowing you, really.
You'll fall into a suspended state between life and death.
Bardo! Teen Wolf fans know.
The moonflower and the poison will let you die. And then you will get into the duat. Your bodies will be slowly dying in the water of the gates, while your boss will be wandering in the realm of the dead. I will keep you alive, and at sunrise I'll give each of you a drink from the other bowl, to which I'll also add flowers. It will neutralize the poison and won't let you die, but you won't have to wake up. At sunset of the second day I'll give you poison again, and then antidote at dawn.
Huh? I don't get it. So first he poisons us, then he, I don't know, the way I understood it, then he's gonna give us some sort of elixir with of the flowers, then he's gonna poison us again, and then he's gonna give us the antidote. Alright, y'all, like, it's just death, right?
My task is to maintain the balance of your suspended state.
But how can he make sure that we're gonna be capable to come back? It's not... I'm sorry. Maybe it's because this is a fantasy story. If you give me a potion / poison, when I die, I die. I don't remain in some sort of delirium between life and death. Maybe that mixture is supposed to make it possible that you remain in a state between life and death. But if you add more poison, then you won't really be capable to remedy the toxin that you caused in my body. That's how I see things.
There will be 3 sunsets and 3 sunrises.
How do we get back?
Sunrise on the 4th day, I will give you the last of the healing potion, reset the second spell, and revive everyone.
Then you better have a good memory, because I could never. I really have a bad memory. Eva imagined the gloomy picture of them lying in the water for several days, half dead, and Ramesses counting down the time to give them each potion. God damn. And then giving them poison again, the first and the second, the first and the second. That is right, our lives will depend on you.
I'll look after them and do everything right.
Are you sure? This won't be an extremely convenient and safe method to get rid of an enemy. I'm sorry, but in general, if Livius and Seth, I mean, I don't know if Seth also needs to drink that potion. He says that he has his body already there, like his divinity body. So I don't know if he actually needs to drink the potion too, but if Livius is going down there with us, he will be fragile, and Simon will have the opportunity to get his ass. And if Simon is that much powerful, then, for example, Ramesses, he won't have the time to react. Livius will be done for. This would be an extremely convenient and safe method to get rid of an enemy. Damn. You do realize you don't have any enemies here, right?
Apart from the main Shishmuhund.
My apologies.
Just kidding, I don't need that. Do you really think I'd do such a thing?
No, I was just asking. You do not even ask that for a joke.
Well, you're wrong. I would. If it weren't for the mercy he has shown to me, sparing my life, I certainly would have done that.
Eva remembered who she was dealing with and what sense of humor he had. Have you learned anything about Hussar? Will I be able to get in touch with Eastman if his remains are gone?
Yes, it was difficult, but I learned something.
Livius found a scarab-shaped amulet in the Igbo. Perhaps it will somehow help me?
It will help a lot. You took the canopic jar, didn't you? One of his organs was inside. It's still a part of his body and his connection to this world. If you combine it with the amulet, we could make something happen.
Yes! Goddamn. What exactly?
If you do everything right, you can bring peace to his bond, even talk to it. Give me the scarab. I'll try to make it work.
Thank you. Ramesses will help enhance the amulet. Y'all. Eva handed the amulet to Ramesses. More voices came from the distance. The Sheshmi immediately guessed that it was Aemon who had arrived at the palace of the dazzling Aten.
I guess it's time for us to go.
Y'all. Eva stopped him before they went to the palace. Wait a moment. I hope you won't let us down. This bitch does not quit. We all rely on you. I know that Ramal was cruel to you at times, and I know how long you studied to complete your training. But there were no serious commissions. We were all treated like brats, which we were, but things are different now. It's time to test all the knowledge and skills we acquired over our years of study, as we can no longer rely on someone older. Every mistake can cost a life. I know you can do this, Ram, even though you are mean and arrogant at times.
Is this a praise or...
This is a friendship praise. If I don't hate on you, we're not close. But you did everything perfectly and approached any task with a sense of responsibility. Our lives depend on you, not just mine. But also Livia's life, and I know you're not particularly fond of him, and Agnias, whom you don't know at all, and Aemons, who ruined your brother, damn, Dia, and many others. Yet you'll save their lives too, I'm sure of it. Aww, that's the cutest speech. Like, especially... like having trust in someone in general. Like, a lot of people are like, no, this is my life. I don't entrust my life to anyone. But we entrust our lives, and not just us personally, like us saying it, like we are trusting you with our life and Aemon's life, etc. Like, all of them are entrusting him with their lives. Like, they could also be like, no, I'm not trusting him. Like, who knows what could happen? Like, who knows if he's only gonna bring, I don't know, Eva back. And the rest of us, he'll leave there to rot. Like, they're all trusting him with their lives. Like, that's a huge ass responsibility. Ramesses, who had never heard such kind words of support before, looked sheepish. Oh, he seemed to be filled with pride and happiness. I believe in you, bitch. You can do this, but he didn't show it. Only the corners of his mouth turned up slightly. He replied curtly,
Yes, I'll do everything as it should be done.
Ramesses feels encouraged by your words, and he is grateful to you. You're welcome, babe.
And you do yours. Find out what happened to Eastman and bring us the answers.
We have a deal. The clouds upon the horizon were tinged with pink. The sun was rising, and it was time to return to the palace to get some sleep. By late morning, they had to start preparing the potions. God damn it. God. Like, I have no fucking idea what's going on. Like, in my comments section, there is so much ruckus. Like, that I fucked up was said, and that I wouldn't have been capable to get, like, the first scene was said, but I did. So, I don't know, maybe then I fucked up with Aemon, and I can't go with him. Like, I don't know. After a few hours of rest, Livis and Ramesses got to work. Zed and Aemon came back in time. Both looked displeased. Damn, they didn't catch him. Damn. The first was silent, but if he had vented his anger, nothing would have been left of the palace. Damn. The second one had many reasons to be in a bad mood. The problems in the settlement, the unexpected pursuit of Saemon, who didn't even leave a trace, and simply his exhaustion. Zed listened to a detailed description of the attack on Livius and asked Agnia to show him where she had hidden the body. She hadn't been able to drag it very far, even with her incredible strength. It was difficult to handle that heavy man. Upon learning that Livius had been attacked, Aemon was outraged. He wanted to check the area again, but Zed convinced him that he had already done it. Damn, not them actually working together. I'm pleasantly surprised. Eva didn't mention that she had almost been stabbed in the stomach. Devastates would have been beside himself if he ever found out about that. Even though Zed had ordered Eva to protect Livius at all costs, he didn't expect her to almost give her life for him. Agnia didn't mention that Eva had come perilously close to dying. If he found out about it, it would only have made matters worse. He wouldn't have liked that at all. Eva wanted to rest like everyone else, but first she needed to change out of her filthy clothes. Of course, why not? They be coming with outfit choices, and I don't really understand why. Just to be dramatic. Eamon decided to rest in one of the rooms, taking some cotton sheets. He made pillows out of bags. Eva lay down next to him, went to take a nap in another room. Am I fucking stupid? Eva lay down next to him. Of course we will. Before that, she took off all her clothes and put on a nightdress. Without asking or saying anything, she silently entered the room when the hunter was already lying on his side. She kneeled down carefully and then dived under the covers and moved closer to the epistates. She hugged him from behind, burying her face in his broad back. When the hunter spoke, a shiver ran down her soft skin.
I heard you come in.
I know. He said no more. Eva didn't see how Eamon smiled slightly at her words. Bye. She hadn't asked for his permission or his opinion. Nah, we're a thing. She had just laid down next to him, and he liked it. He immediately remembered the Eva he knew. I feel so bad. Again, I said I'm gonna say more about who I chose at the end of this episode. A bit brazen and totally uninhibited. What had they been like before, and what had they become? There hadn't been anything between them but mutual dislike at first, but right at that moment they were lying there in silence, clinging to each other and holding their breath, waiting to leave for the world of the dead. They had traveled to Tebas together, and they were going to walk that path together too. Still silent, Eamon put his hand on Eva's arm, which was hugging him. Her fingertips brushed the thin blonde hairs on his strong chest. She felt his warmth and strength, and his scent, which had already become familiar, helped Eva calm down after that wild evening. Is everything all right in the settlement? Her thin voice cut through the silence. Eamon replied,
No, I left Titian in charge. People are starting to get sick.
Eva bit her lip. The disease continued to ravage all living things. We won't be alive much longer. Have many people got sick?
Only one. Besides Tia, no.
One is not so bad.
It will spread panic. It already has. It will be difficult for Titian to maintain order.
Well, then he better grow some fucking balls and be a nice replacement for you. Or more like second in command. No one is a replacement. Eva snuggled closer to the epistate's back. She hugged him gently and then planted a light kiss on his skin. She was only worried about what awaited them the duet. But Eamon had plenty of other worries. He had given up everything to go there with her. And he was probably worried about a squad, even though he didn't show it. Titian will be fine. What you're doing now is more important. This is not 30 people in a settlement. The fate of thousands of people depends on how we do. And you, the defender of all living people, are doing your most important job. You're looking for the one who threatens all of us. She wanted to bring him some peace, to let at least one of them have it. He took her hand, which he had been holding until then, and kissed it.
I'm not going there to protect people, Eva, but to protect you.
From Sid. Yes, people deserve it more than me. Shut up! Stop belittling yourself. And the thing that I hate the most is that I relate to that attitude. I would do that same thing, thinking that everyone is more worthy than I am, because life has shown me that I only get some kicks into my ass.
I don't care. I don't need this world without you in it.
Bye. Bye. Not you melting my heart.
That's why I'm doing it.
Oh, I feel like I need to say right now who I chose. All right, I have to. At this point, I have to tell you who I chose. A lot of you have told me in the comment section to choose who I feel most comfortable with and who I like more. And in my eyes, it was the cutest thing ever. Like, no one actually saying what they want, but them just saying that they're here for the crazy journey that I always put on everyone. And I think that was the most beautiful thing I've ever read. Like, all of you just appreciating the energy I give out with my videos to that extent that you wouldn't care who I pick, even if I don't pick who your favorite is, because you just love my commentary, you love my fangirling slash my reaction, like my analysis, my input in the storyline. And I just feel the need to actually highlight that I actually felt so emotional. I actually shed some tears. I really did, because up until now, like, people felt the need to actually always place their opinion onto me, like they still do. And I'm always like fighting back, like trying to tell them that my opinion is like the one that matters now most in a specific circumstances. And you all just appreciating it immediately, not even doing anything. Like, honestly, at this point, you are all my safe zone. A beautiful heart going out to all of you. And just to put it in here, because I just gave out so much love, I picked Aemon. Now, I've been actually debating whether I should go with Sed or Aemon for such a long time, because in my eyes, the storyline with Sed is just a little bit more mysterious, and that's, in my eyes, very attractive, sort of intriguing, interesting. But in my eyes, if you truly love someone, you can't fall in love with the second one. Now, I'm not placing in love with any of these characters because, like I said, to a specific degree, they're all toxic besides Livius now, of course. Like, I chose Aemon because, yes, we had a rough start, but we all came to a specific point together. We both had different views of life, yet we were both struggling in our own way. He was struggling because of his parents, and then him actually being so cruel to Sheshmu, and yet not being capable to hurt us because he saw like the vulnerable person inside of us that he used to be back in the day, when he saw the people that he loved being completely murdered in front of him. Like when he saw how we killed Dia, he didn't say sorry, but you could see that he felt a little uncomfortable around us. Then all the jealousy with Livius, etc., like, we're gonna ignore that. The point here is, he hated us, and I did explain, like, of course there were some moments where I felt a little bit intimidated, but the same thing goes with Sed. And in my eyes, as much as it's attractive, like, to have like this sort of role play throwing in here with Sed, I feel like there is much more intimidation going on between us and Sed rather than actual attraction. And when we compare what we've gone through with Aemon, actually him slowly opening up, him having to admit to himself that he can't hate us no matter what he does, even after he found out that we are a Sheshmu, he kind of figured that we are, and he wasn't upset that we are a Sheshmu, and that we didn't, and that we left, but he was upset that we didn't trust him enough to tell him. He was hurt that we didn't confide in him. That was what bothered him. Not that we were a Sheshmu, considering the fact he was murdering them all. He felt hurt/betrayed that we actually believed that he would be capable to do something so horrible to us. That hurt him. And just seeing that he keeps on emphasizing, no matter how awful, like, we fight, because this is like this control for power, like this fight for power that I was talking about the entire time between Aemon and Eva. Like, Aemon, as much as he loves power and control, he's allowing Eva sort of to be in charge. Like, normally people don't get to tell him what to do or to talk back to him. With us, he just feels the need to be like, listen, I'm not amused with what you're saying. But we saw his behavior when he went back to the background, to the campground, and people were disagreeing with this man's methods. Like, he kind of gave off Seth vibes. With us, he can't do that anymore. He's allowing us to do so much. Something that he would have never ever allowed someone else to do. Which just shows how much the situation between us and Eamon changed. And while Seth still feels the need to say that he has control over us and that he can do and say to us what he wants without needing to add anything else, as in if he feels desire towards us, like he gives us our powers. So, of course, we would feel some sort of attraction towards him, and he sort of is like amused by the fact that we feel attracted to this man because of our powers. Eamon feels the need to emphasize that we will always have a choice. Back then, when we had like this romantic sex scene, this man only did what we allowed him to. Because we're completely emotionally fragile, we couldn't have sex with Eamon just yet. And he appreciated this. We remember a scene when Seth saved us from Eamon back in the day because we were like doing a Sheshmu commission. And we like wanted to change, and this man refused to turn around because he was like, you're mine. Eamon on the other side, the second that he started to be interested in us and everything, he would rather die than ever disrespect us. Like him being a bratty bitch, like that's his personality. And I appreciate him for not changing and for him not completely becoming a simp like Cain in the last 2 episodes, for example. But we know, and we can see it here in this scene again, he will always have our best interest at heart. And I feel like that's something that the writers are like messing up with Seth's character. So I will have to say I'm going with Eamon. Eva remained silent. She had never felt so protected and so happy before. You found a moment of peace next to each other, of course. After a while, Eva and Eamon fell asleep, wrapped up in each other's warmth and tired after the difficult day. They slept until noon, when preparations had already begun. After the men had made the potions, they needed to rest. As the sun started to set towards the horizon, Seth said it was time to go. He told everyone, including Eamon, the details of the ritual about the poison and their suspended state. There were no more questions left. The time had come to transform words into actions. We will see how things go. If I really should have messed up to the point where I can't be with Eamon anymore, I will replay the season, as in season 2, and not pick some set gem options to the point where we won't even have like the problem as in that jealousy point we set in the future. So to guarantee that there will be no problems, but I will just see in season 3, episode 1, I guess. When they went beneath the palace, they saw a small lake fed by the flowing crimson Nile. There was a fresco on the wall with an excerpt from the Book of the Dead depicting the judgment. The towering states of Nephthys, Osiris, and Anubis, which guarded the gates of day and night, seemed to be watching Eva. Orion watched from the distance. They had spent the whole evening in tense silence. They were about to do something that few people had ever done. Ramesses put 2 bowls with potions on the table. I can only read poison, y'all. He added crimson turmeric to each decoction. When the flower touched the liquid, its petals turned white and became lighter.
Lay down in the water, on the very shore, face up. Necromancer sprinkled them with moonflowers.
Agnia went first. She just walked into the lake and slowly lay down as she had been told. It's beautiful, y'all.
The water is warm.
Eamon was next. Eva and Livius exchanged glances and followed him. Me. God damn me. The hunter looked at Eva for a long time before he lay down in the water. He was ready to follow her anywhere, even in the duat. If that isn't like the man that you should choose, like I don't know who is. He is so selfless when it comes to her now. He is so fucking selfless. When the light in the room turned blood red from the dying sun on the horizon, Set commanded.
Add the moonflowers.
Ramses took the prepared buds without their stalks. Beautiful. The necromancer threw them into the water so that the flowers would float on the surface.
Now the spell I told you. And then give them poison.
Bye. As if it's just a normal thing. Give them poison. Dot. Ramesses took the bowl with the first potion and went to the others. He spoke in a low voice.
The gates will open with the night, and only death can step inside. There is no way back with morning light. To enter first you must have died.
Damn!
1 drop of poison just for you, to lend your life but for a while. Anubis waits to take you through. The duat god bears all the trial. You'll walk the path, neither alive nor dead. Without life's drop you can't go back to where the 4th dawn spreads.
Damn! Like, again, you must have a very good memory. I wouldn't be capable to keep that when the spell was cast. Draught of death. One by one, they were given a drop of tasteless poison. Damn! Okay, so just a drop. Oh my god. They were lying in the water, watching their last sunset in the world of the living. There was no pain. There was nothing at all. With every second their hearts slowed down, the fear receded, and everything inside them calmed down. That must be some powerful, strong-ass poison. Like, just 1 drop. And they dropped dead. Damn. Seth looked down on how their life was ebbing away. Their bodies seemed to have no outlines anymore. They merged with the water, becoming one with it. Okay, so he doesn't have to drink the poison. That answers my question. I'm sorry, are we seeing Livius on the side right now? Are we seeing how fine he is? If I wouldn't be a simp for Aemon. And a little bit confused because of Seth's fine ass. Again, I would have jumped on Livius. I should have jumped on Livius when I had the chance. And with each other, the sun got lower, its orange light making the crimson water even brighter. Aemon, Agnia, Eva, and Livius seemed to be drowning in the blood of the Nile. Damn. Once Eastman had drowned in it at dawn. Damn. Their eyes closed slowly. One by one, they fell asleep. A sleep from which there was no awakening. Oh god, okay. And the eyes closed. The water began to darken and turn very cold. I just noticed it's red. The bright light of the sunset no longer hit their eyelids because there wasn't any sun, and they couldn't hear the pounding of their own heartbeat in their ears. It had stopped. Absolute silence, calmness, emptiness. God damn, that's dark. God damn! Not the hands! Are we seeing the fucking hands trying to grab us? And the growing sense of someone else's presence. Someone was waiting for them on the other side. Ramesses and Seth had disappeared. The lake and everything around it was changing. Only Orion remained unchanged, sitting in the same place, in the same position. Oh my god, not his eyes glowing. All the other noises faded, as if outside world had ceased to exist. Is that Anubis? What is going on? The lake and the dungeon were plunged into darkness. The walls of the palace were gone, as were the setting sun and the rustle of sand. The passage was completed. They were in the duat. Great. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the world of the dead. Now that's something, alright. Now let's see if next episode can actually be a beautiful Aemon. Now, no confusion. Rude. If not, again, I will replay it. It's Aemon. I made my decision. And I love you all for being so patient and so cute in my comment section. I was actually so emotional when I read that you would be watching my videos no matter how long it took me, because you just appreciate my input so much. It really made me feel so emotional. But before I start crying over here, I hope you enjoyed this video with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another video. Bye.